Good morning, everybody. This is Dr. Rao coming on to my usual hour in the morning uh, just to be with you, available with you, and uh, contribute whatever I can, if I may, and present to you what I do, what kind of things I uh, kind of uh, do. Uh, this is the map again. Okay. Okay. All right. Good morning again. This is Dr. Rao Kulusu coming to you um, to be in service, to really relate with my friends and talk to them. And if anybody has any questions that I could answer, I'll be happy to engage with them. And even if you have to just chat, that's okay too. Um, any questions regarding our daily lifestyle, stress and burnout, and yoga and meditation and spirituality, all those things are game. And I will answer anything you have questions about. It's you know I'm a physician, but I don't answer medical questions here because I'm not in medical practice here, but more like a friend and somebody who is interested in these um, life issues and matters. I come here to really engage with people that they can answer my questions and I can really answer them. Okay, so that is the context of it. And it could be related to general medical issues of importance we can answer, but not the particular treatments for that. But I do the yoga club in the morning and I do the meditation. And in terms of teaching those things, any questions related to that would be fine too. I have been talking on several platforms, including the one on the Clubhouse and Wisdom. And I come on the Instagram sometimes live broadcasts of my yoga practice and other things. And there will be more short videos are going to be coming your way about my life, my things I do, and what kind of activities I have been engaged in. This morning when I woke up, I was um, reading about karma yoga, and all that. So I put a tweet where what is the difference between karma, which is to act, and karma yoga, which is uh, really acting unselfishly. How can you do that in this world? Because whatever we do, if we can do for a job or for a family, for somebody else, that becomes automatically unselfish because you are not looking for the compensation as much as you are looking for the satisfaction of the job and also giving the fruits to somebody else. It can be done in small ways, it can be done in big ways, but basically keeping your mind clear of this selfish activity, selfish desires. That's all. and then you'll find meaning, you'll find really engaging and also fulfillment from doing the job. So karma is to act, that is karma means hand. With hands you act, but in your mind you keep silence of the multiple desires, then you can say how I could be motivated, because doing the work itself is a motivation, and duty for the duty's sake is the motivation, or you can dedicate it to some divine force and that becomes too good too. So in real karma yoga, what they do is they perform jobs that are needed for you, but then they always maintain this detachment from the fruits of the action. Okay, so you can think about it, don't have to apply right away, but the more you're doing it, you will find that how beautiful, how fulfilling it is. In that spirit, I'm coming here saying that I am going to be in service, not that I know all the answers, not that I can give you every thing, no, not at all. It is the true travelers traveling on the same journey of life. We kind of help each other or exchange ideas and learn from each other. That kind of spirit I'm coming in. Okay, so even though I say I'm in service, we are all in service with each other, and we can contribute to each other's understanding, and thereby liberation from the ignorance and be enlightened that way on any topic. Okay, so I mentioned karma yoga because I just tweeted something on that. Um, what about uh, uh, people who are coming on Instagram, I'm just waving at them. Hi everybody, trader Samuel. Hi Samuel, how are you doing? So I places. So if you want to come up on this, uh, okay, I'm not here for the business of Bitcoin trading, and please don't ask me those questions. Okay, somebody put that question there, so I'm just responding to them. So here is a friendly discussion, exchange of ideas and concepts about lifestyles, our stress, our burnout. That's what I really focus on, because I always tell people how it is important for us to really, helping each other and acting like a one tribe. In that spirit, I'm coming here. So if you have any questions, you can always come back. Okay. So this room is about that kind of growing in friendship, cooperation, and collaboration. But if you have an end like you want to have a something out of this, that is not the purpose. The purpose is to be together this 1 hour and to be able to understand certain deeper aspects of life and bring that wisdom into our life. That kind of thing. In the spirit, I'm very happy to exchange with people. Okay, uh, so I'm here to answer those questions. Okay, anybody else have questions like that? They can always come. I come on wisdom with some of my friends too, where they discuss these kind of deeper issues. If the topic is good and there's something I could contribute, I always come up and talk about that. Um, uh, See, I live in the Midwest in a town called Clinton, Iowa, and I'm a internal medicine physician, and also have done a master's in biomedical informatics. Then I work with EMRs and big data and all that. And also, I'm a yoga practitioner. I teach yoga and meditation and Advaita Vedanta, all those things we talk about whenever somebody comes to me with burnout and stress. We are not asking anybody to join any religion. They can participate in any religion, they can follow that, but we are talking about lifestyles of what do we eat, how do we act, how do we sleep, how do we calm our mind. Those kind of things I focus because I see a lot of stress and burnout in around my with all the doctors, all the patients, all the um, relatives, family, everybody is in some kind of stress. What is the root of cause of stress is more like a the cause of stress is the mind, how we think, how we perceive things, and how we close the understanding, how we allow these negative thoughts to build up, and then how we identify ourselves with so many things. All the things are happening in the mind. So, understanding the mind, going deeper into the mind, and really revelating us from the so many forces that really impinge on us to cause us stress and uh, sadness and sorrow and all that, right? External things can be difficult, but if you can keep your mind calm and quiet, and inner wisdom comes out, and you can really attend to the challenges of the world that comes to you. Okay, so that's one of the aims of training all the people who are burning out in our profession or other professions too, and also really helping people of IT uh, professionals who are burdened with a lot of information overload, overwhelm, and they're stressing out. And lots of times they can't even calm their mind so that they can catch a few hours of good sleep. So I talk about that, how to have a quality sleep too. And also we help leaders, how can they transform themselves by understanding where they are coming from, if they are egotistical, if they can identify and then transform themselves into somebody like a service leader, that is a servant leader, rather, that servant leadership is a very valuable thing for the company, for all the people you are really uh, really working with, or interacting on a daily basis. All these things matter, right? So we are always trying to uh, help people that way. So your questions can be oriented to any of these things that you have. And I have a wellness club, I have these courses, I have an ebook and all that. You can always visit my website, which is bapal.net, and you will have those services available there. You can ask me questions here. No, no, really, no bars. You can ask any question that you have. So that's about me. I'm married. I have two children. Both are grown up, and now I live with my wife, and my daughter is presently living with us. But she has her own company. She runs. So we are trying to help her with that too. Otherwise, my son has a job in Des Moines. He's a band teacher. He's a trumpet player. So that's about me. And now I'm trying to run this company, be a pal, where the services are based on fusion. That's a mixing of the modern medicine and ancient wisdom. So I was practicing modern medicine for 40 some years now. And what I found there was acute care medicine is good, emergency services are good, several specialties are good, but it's the primary care, it is the chronic diseases that we really cultivate because of our lifestyles that is having very poor outcomes. And that's why my focus as a physician, as a responsible citizen, as somebody who's concerned about this lack of vitality in the living, because chronic diseases sap that vitality from you, and then you cannot really live in a good energy and vitality and bring joy to your otherwise drab activities, right? If you are not well enough, you are having a lot of joint pains, or if you are having no energy because of the diabetes, or you have suffered a stroke or heart attack and then you're disabled permanently, those kind of things, we can really work towards them because I have enough knowledge to really understand where the chronic diseases are, how they come, what are the root causes of them, and how can we attend to them in simple lifestyles, and that way you can always work on the chronic diseases and the resulting morbidity, we call it. People die eventually, that's true, but then morbidity where you don't have enough pep or enough energy, or you are continuously having this complaints from the body where you cannot even sit down and meditate, or you cannot walk a little distance on your own, or you cannot do your own your own your own stuff, right? Daily living, like you cannot go to bathroom on your own, or you cannot eat by your own, or you cannot really walk with other people to enjoy the walking place. So those kind of limitations are put by the chronic disease. People think we can live with them, yeah, but then you can also improve them. Sometimes you can get rid of them completely. You know, um, somebody asked me, it is Aishu. Aishu asked a question: how do you heal hypothyroidism? Yeah, thyroidism is an important condition. It's a hypo or hyper. The thyroid gland is here, and it produces a lot of hormones that work on head to toe on all cellular process. And if you have low thyroid hormone circulating that is not available in the to the body, then it is called hypothyroidism. This has become increased incidence in modern life, and a lot of people are having this. Uh, we kind of combine this with how you are relaxed in your mind, how you are really sleeping. All those things are important too. We do treat it with a hypothyroid, with a thyroid hormone replacement. That is a definite. And sometimes some other conditions need to have other treatments, but basically, synthroid, the hormone is replaced, and then they can see that they need to take that thyroid hormone all the time, and they themselves know whether the dose is enough or not because they have developed symptoms of fatigue and not having the energy and general slowing down of the entire metabolism, right? So they can feel it and they'll come to me and say, Doc, I think my level is low, because they feel that, and they cannot do any function at all, and so we have to increase the dose as they go along, and also really check the thyroid hormone once a once you are stable, you are okay, you can check once a year. Otherwise, every 3 months, 6 months, we do that according to the patient, right? So that is hypothyroidism. But she is asking a question: how to heal? So hypothyroidism cure and treatment, I said about that, but she is asking about how to heal it. That's where Aishu has to understand about this modern lifestyle aggravating the hypothyroid condition in so many young people now. Even though iodine and all those things are taken care of, people are really getting into it because they don't have alignment between what they are, what they want, and what they are doing. And if they are doing something that doesn't agree with their system or values or internal alignment, then the whole thing is going different directions. That causes enormous stress on the system. So alignment of you your interior and your exterior is very important. So how do you know your values, how who you are, what do you value? All those things will be in relation to your work and activities should be the same. Suppose you want to work in a bank and the bank is charging too much to the customers, that doesn't agree with you and that bothers you really too much, then you will have the resentment of working for a bank that is not helping everybody, right? So there's an example. So if you have that, and then if you have a relationship where you are having this constant arguments and all that, so you're generating a lot of stress in your life, both inside and outside, and that kind of thing is has increased a lot in modern life because we don't take time to relax and unwind. We don't really enjoy good literature, poetry, and like that, right? So many ways of modern life makes you hurry a lot, wind up all the time, and generally not having any general direction of where your life is going, or you may be working with a lot of resources that were not there, and then you have the feeling of deficient rather than being abundant attitude. All these things matter. So if you want to have more discussion of it, you can always direct a message me, Aishu, and I'll be happy to converse with you, and then see the individual things that we can help you with. Okay, but in general, alignment, like a harmony between what you are inside, what you're outside, if that can be done, or if you have to do something and you cannot change it, how do you rectify your internal struggles and misgivings, anger, all those things you need to work on. So that's what will be the solution. There's a good question by Aishu on the Instagram, and thank you, Aishu, for asking that question. Okay, so any of these modern conditions, uh, I have healthy respect of treatments that we evolved in modern medicine, but then we hardly pay attention to what was the reason for these things to go out of whack. Okay, thyroid hormones going out of whack, and lots of times you can understand why it is going if you examine uh, anybody's lifestyle or anybody's thing. You have to understand where we are going, how mechanical we are becoming, how really not paying attention to the mind and its power, how it can make a hell for you, or you can make your life like a heaven. Once you understand the mind, put it in its place, and then you will be much better off. Okay, those kind of things happen with stopping and reflecting what's going on in my life, and then really sitting down and trying to calm your mind twice a day in this modern age. So I have simple ways I would like to do. I get up in the morning. I always tell them, be in awareness. Don't let the thought stream come right away. Like, I do this, you go like that, right? Instead of that, get up and be in awareness, get back to your presence, to your center within, and then deal with media, deal with email, whatever that you are doing, do it more like consciously, more like proactively. This is what I want to do. I don't want to pay attention to every announcement that comes on. I don't want to pay attention to every email that comes on. I want to choose how my day has to be. When you do that, you have more energy going into what you want to do. And then once it's accomplished, you feel better. You feel more accomplished. So there are so many ways to pursue this, but basically, get up in awareness, stay in awareness most of the day, that is in the present, and be proactive, be conscious. That conscious living is a big deal to help with the thyroid disorders and all these psychosomatic disorders that are happening too. But there are certain legitimate conditions where they genuinely need um, thyroid hormone. That's where we mix both modern medicine and understanding from the ancient medicine. Ancient wisdom is where holistic treatments are given and real root causes are found out and addressed there. Whereas modern medicine is a reductionist. It does treat people in a mechanical way. It treats the body separate and mind separate. They are not. They are only one unit. Human being is only one unit. You got to pay attention to all aspects of human being, not only the body but also the mind and the psychological structure and the spiritual orientation. All these things put together, and there is a way of opening up your mind, keeping the mind in its place, and then really working in that understanding that we are consciousness reflected as mind and body. And once you are established in that center of yours, you will have more harmony in your entire being. Okay, human being. Human means humorous, that is the body mind, and the being is that energy, that consciousness within you that gives you manifestation to the body and mind, and this is what they worked on at a very but then we get caught up in concept, we get caught. No, what is existentially real? Don't get caught up in the concept. What is real for me? What is exactly present in front of me? If you are conscious like that and you are paying attention to that completely, then you can accomplish a lot in a day, and also you can really be fulfilled by that too. You know, but in actuality, if we go to deeper into the being, being in the being itself is completely fulfilled. Once you are there, you will never be able to uh, you know do that. Okay, so it's all a question of doing that. Okay, uh, so it depends upon where you are, what you want to learn in the life too. So bring in the questions that relate to you. I can increase your understanding from what I understood, and so that you can really, uh, really, really helps you. Okay. Uh, Anything else? Any other questions? People on the wisdom can come up on the clubhouse and also on the Instagram. Anybody is interested, they can come up now. Most of the time, what is happening is people do not pay attention to the cues that the physical and mental you get during the work, right? And they get so immersed in the work, they ignore. For example, you are sitting in a chair for prolonged time and your body tells you your back is hurting, then you got to get up and then really release the tension as it is building. That kind of awareness of our body and also our mind happening is very important, because if you allow them, those dysfunctions will become much more, and then it really happens uh, into reflection of chronic disease. So pay attention to uh, the cues the body and the mind sends you, and then really react that way. Okay. For example, you are having that back stiffness, get up and walk that way and this way. It's a movement that's important. Whether you walk, you run, or you play a game, or you do yoga, pilates, or any number of things, like any martial arts, anything like that, or you play a game. What is important is move the body, but keep the mind silent as much as possible. Use it only when you need it. Rest of the time, don't get all this information into your mind and let the mind go churning on itself. That's what is happening in the modern life. What it is we have too many stimuli coming up, too many things excite us, and then we get lost in that mind all the time. So that's what I'm trying to point out to people, so that they can change them by themselves. You don't have to really get help from many people if you can nip it in the bud. So I have this philosophy of watching how people are working in what circumstances and what is their routine. For example, I take a nurse who is very common for me, right? They work with me. And then I see what is the nurse routine in the morning and what is she doing to come to the hospital. Is she driving, or is it more like a uh, uh, they're using some car commute and all that. And I like to encourage them to walk to walkable distances if they could. So if they have to take the car to travel several miles to the hospital, once they come, we ask them to park away from the hospital. If the weather is permitting, there's no ice or snow in the on the ground, and then allow them to take the opportunity of walking to the hospital from the car, and take the stairs instead of the elevator, especially when you are not tired, you have a lot of energy. That's when you want to make the body used to the exercise. Move the body somehow. Suppose you are in the chair and you get a phone call, even though it's a cellular phone, you just get up and answer it. That kind of opportunities you can discover in your routine, where your body is not stable or static or at one place, it is moving. That's all. That itself will make a lot of. Suppose you're sitting in the chair for a long time, there are things that you can do in the chair that will really help you. So I have routines, yoga routines that you can do sitting in the chair and really moving all joints. I have a routine called head to toe yoga in 5 to 10 minutes. That can be done by standing, or by sitting, or by lying down. Okay, all the three ways you can do according to your ability at the time. Suppose you had a surgery, and suppose you are recovering. You have to lie down in the bed. You can do this routine so that all your joints are limber, and also all your joints will really give you that kind of thing. Okay, so kind of easiness of the joints, and that make you feel better too. And taking deep breaths while lying down, that also helps you without the pain of the surgery or whatever you're going through, and then you will come out of that much faster. Okay, so those kind of things you want to consider. Okay, uh, then basic principle: move the body and keep the mind silent. How are you going to keep the mind silent if you allow lot of stimuli coming to you, lot of information overwhelm you? Do you need all that information? Stop and evaluate and see what you're making. That is the conscious living. Is you got to pay attention to what is happening to your body, to your mind, as a witness. Once you are in that witness, you'll be closer to the witness consciousness. That's fine. But then initially, just be aware of what's happening within your um, uh, body, and also the mind. Once you are aware of those changes, you can always change them. Okay, so that there are those kind of things I wanted to present here in this hour. If people have special questions, you can always come up and ask me those questions. Otherwise, I'll be closing in a few minutes. It's almost 8:30, so I'll do half an hour room, and then I'll be closing that. Let me see who are available here on the wisdom. I don't know whether they're there or not. Daryl is there, and Hard is there. I don't know. I come to everybody's room, and these people are not coming up. Maybe they don't have any question. They know everything, probably. That's also fine. As long as I get a chance to say what I have to say, that's good enough. That's what we are supposed to do on the Wisdom app too. We are here to share, we are here to serve, and we are here to give. Even giving itself is quite fulfilling for me. So I don't need to be respected or anything like that. If you have questions, I'll be happy to answer. And I have a full day at 10 o'clock. So another half an hour I can be here. But if nobody has any questions, I don't want to go on a monologue forever, because a lot of people know what I do, what I'm doing, and a lot of people say they don't understand sometimes. But I can always slow down. I always try to explain in different ways. So if you have questions, you can come. And I'm doing the live on LinkedIn, other places too, but I'm not having anybody come up there. Once that is open, probably a lot of people will come up there too. So Restream, all the four channels go there, and the Instagram on one iPad, and Wisdom on another iPad, and Clubhouse on the iPhone. So that's the way I do these rooms. Uh, so if everybody is happy with no questions for me, I will close this room down. But if somebody wants to come up, I'll be happy to do that. Okay. So, okay. So So I'll be seeing you again, and somebody is disturbing me with phone calls. I will see you again tomorrow. Hopefully, everybody is having a good day. Bye.